come to my house. I have a very interesting feature of my house. Go down there. Hello there, people of YouTube. I am John Morris of Prime Property Auctions. This is going to be another episode of Spotted on Rightmove, where Nathan picks some lovely properties that have been seen on Rightmove and posted on Reddit. So let's check out these weird and wonderful properties and find out why people think they're odd. This is a studio flat. Okay, I can see a stair up to this bit. Have they just put a bed up here? They have just put a mattress in the ceiling, effectively. I don't think you or I could sit up there.
Certainly couldn't stand ever.
No, it's like a crawl space. And Frank would love it up there. The bars are really, that can't be to regulation. I mean, ultimately, it's just a storage area. To say that this mezzanine level is a bedroom, definitely not, but you can do that. It just would not be for a bed. We can't class this as a bedroom. I mean, you can. There is a floor plan, amazing. They have called it a bedroom. And they've actually said it's on the first floor, even though it's still in the same floor.
Okay, here's my question. What defines a floor?
Well, if you look at it, like, so see the building, that is 3 floors. What they would be saying is then, so say I built a cupboard in one of the floors and then put something on top of it, is that now a floor? No, it's very nice. Like, it is done nice. I think, see, if I was selling this property and going to be calling this a bedroom, put a lamp up here, put a wee plant, put a sheet on this mattress. Make it look a little bit nicer than just, oh, we've flung a mattress up there. But it looks, I mean, it's done very nice. £200,000 for a studio though. It's pretty expensive. It's these things, like, so seeing quite a lot of flats in Edinburgh, because it's old tenement buildings, very high ceilings. So say if you've got like a smaller single bedroom, what they will do is they'll build a platform and be able to put the bed or the mattress up there, and there's still plenty of room to sit up, read the book, all that stuff. But it's a unique use of the space. Even if you're going to do it, why not just have a full barrier? Right, moving on to number 2. Looks like a semi-detached property. And that just looks like the verge. So obviously the verge, I mean, it does look like if we look here, it does look like the lake has kind of come into the bottom of the garden. So when you are buying a property this close to a lake, you need to check if there has been any previous flooding in it, because it will affect the mortgageability. So not necessarily the price. Obviously, if it's a really nice area, people want to live there. People also do like a lake behind their property, especially if they're keen boat enthusiasts. But you need to make sure that there is flood prevention in place. Make sure that the banks don't burst every now and again. If there's been a flood within the last 10 years or something like that, it will affect the mortgageability. The local council put in place certain measures to ensure that doesn't happen again. So, but the bank's giving you the money for the mortgage will ultimately say, well, this has happened before, we were not going to lend. So the price on this is 365,000. They might say, well, we're only willing to offer you a mortgage of say 250, 300. Being that close to it might affect mortgageability, and definitely if there has been floods, even if it was just coming up to the bottom end of the garden, maybe not too much, but if it comes all the way back into the house, that's a beautiful view though, isn't it? Can we move on?
We can move on.
Excellent. Oh, gorgeous. Oh, the big aga. I love this. Traditional beams throughout. That looks like a crumpled up tissue, doesn't it? Oh! Tintin. Oh, look! Nice big utus. Is there going to be like death tools or something in here? Nice car. So I guessed death tools in the garage, but we have a Joseph Fritzl dungeon. Is it just, does it go to the other end of the house? Is that what they've done? Like, oh, go down there, and somebody who's gone through the crawl space come up and it's like, oh, we're at the other side of the house. Right, I need to read the description. It just says cellar. Stairs down, down. But is that just the cellar? So is that it? It goes all the way down and all the way back. So where the person's taking the photograph from, that's probably as deep as it goes that way, and then it goes all the way down the other way. That is the room. But then this floor plan doesn't, unless that's just under the house, the photograph of what we saw as the cellar, isn't it like this?
So it says it goes below the village. In that case, is it actually part of the property?
So we've got a title, our property's in the middle. Bonk. If your tunnel is here and then goes and goes out with your title, technically you would own up to directly below where your title line ends. But there will be what's referred to as burdens within the title, stating you have access through the tunnels or whatever, but that will be in the legal documents. If you're in a mid-terraced house, you need to be able to take your bins out, so you're allowed to basically walk across. So it'd be interesting to know what's going on with the labyrinth of tunnels below their houses. Do you know this is how sad I am? That my eyes are just drawn to the word sandwich. that's all I can read. Would you go through that tunnel? Would you be willing to go? If I was like, Nathan, come to my house. I have a very interesting feature of my house. Go down there. I mean, props to the photographer for going down there, but I imagine the owner was like, you need to go down there. It's class. Go down and check out our labyrinth. And you're like, who's that guy? But oh, we'd wondered where Bill had gone. That is beautiful. That is a very, very nice property. How many of the neighbouring properties have a hatch? And at which point, can anybody just walk down your hatch? And that sounds very odd. I don't know if this is going to make the cut. Excellent. I love this property. I think it's gorgeous. What they have done inside is beautiful, and the uniqueness of that is a main selling point. And I like the fact that the photographer has gone down and taken photographs of it. It's very good. I don't have anything else to say. I think we've probably peaked. Fucking hell, what I'm looking at is 3.75 million. Please tell me it is the entire townhouse and Brighton has not gone bananas and it's like a ground floor flat. Excellent potential for serviced accommodation, which Brighton is excellent for. Right, let's look at these beautiful photographs. Wow, oh, the drone footage. We got a drone, didn't we? Why don't we fly drones through our properties? Don't say anything. Wow! Oh my God. I wish I looked at the photographs first. Look at that. I want this house. Oh my. This is amazing. You know you've made it when you've got steps going into your bath. Right, let's look at the photographs because that library, wow. That's such a cool room. Literally a full, you could have your own, like come in, take your book. Here's your stamp book for your library card. Doesn't feel like this is the best use of space. It's just too many rooms, they're like, we don't need it. But I suppose, why would you sit here when you can go out onto one of your many balconies? This is amazing. Look at that.
Wait, go back. Couple. Oh, it's Nelson Mandela.
I was looking out the window. And I was like, how can you see Nelson Mandela out the window? He's out there. Imagine this was just you and me. We lived in our house together, Nathan. Would we sit at each end of the table and shout at each other, please pass me the salt? I love it. Absolutely love this property. Brighton is not a cheap part of the world as well to buy properties in, so like flats are very expensive there. The room sizes are fantastic. So 8 bedrooms, 9 bathrooms. What you will find is, especially in massive houses like this, there is usually more bathrooms than there is bedrooms. This is usually because in olden times you would have maids and people who work within your property, so then they have their own toilet to use. That's why you'll find in bigger properties there's actually more bathrooms, more places to whittle than there is to sleep. So you've got your basement, lower ground floor, first floor, and then look, mezzanine level on your first floor. Imagine heating this fucking house, man. I want to see what other properties are selling for in the area. Let's look at this one, the similar property. Offers over 850. It's an 8 bedroom, 4 bathroom. This one looks like a rental property. It is an HMO. So that is the difference. So this is literally being used as effectively 7 flats. Instead of doing what the other person has done, is like, this is a grand house, look at all this. They've gone like, how can we chop it all up? I imagine university students of Brighton will be living here, which does look that way from the photographs. I know we're looking at a completely different property now, but How do I go back? Back. Yes. I mean, that other property is probably half the size. I like these Reddit reacts when I get to see beautiful properties, because this is like the end finished article. We tend to deal with the before at prime property auctions, and then people get to turn them into these wonderful properties. That is a good one to end on. I am very happy, and now I want to buy a house that costs 4 million quid. And so concludes another episode of Reddit Reacts. I'm very happy that we got to see some of these beautiful properties. So if you like this kind of content, want to see my big mug reacting to other weird and wonderful properties on Rightmove, then click the link here. Make sure to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And as always, guys, get hammered.